After going 3 games without registering a win, Arsenal are back to winning ways. And what a way to obviously find themselves in a position of being able to go away at Leeds and obviously score 4 goals to nil. Remember, I'm one of those who really called out for an Arsenal win, but I thought it was obviously going to be a slight one because I know exactly what the errand road is all about, and even Declan Rice hated on it when he was being interviewed before this game started, as he really stepped on the pitch to obviously mark his 300th Premier League game of his football career. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How about you guys, and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as don't miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having super fun wherever you are. Now, this is the video match reaction, and before I head into all that, continue to subscribe because we want to hit 29. Is it? 29,000 subscribers, and we are on to that mark to obviously hit that milestone in there for you. Now, in the 27th minute, obviously, Martin Zubimendi went ahead to obviously coming through and really headed that ball into the back of the net. And I think he has gone ahead to exonerate himself because Arsenal lost that game of Manchester United in the hands of Martin Zubimendi. The 2 goals that United went ahead to score, the first one and the second one, they had a name of Zubimendi written all over them. You know, I don't want to get back to that, but Zubimendi went ahead to cost Arsenal. Now, 26 minutes, Arsenal was really goal hunting, goal poaching, and they couldn't obviously break the dreadlock. But Noni Madueke went ahead to bring in a teasing cross towards the near post, and Martin Zubimendi went ahead to obviously head that ball into the back of the net, and he went ahead to break the dreadlock in there for you, and he went ahead to celebrate. And I think if you're an Arsenal fan, this should excite you a lot for your best player like Martin Zubimendi being under pressure, not being used in the midweek when Arsenal was playing in the Champions League. He needed such a goal to really get back to his best form as a player, because he is still one of the best midfielders. Before he really made those errors against Man United, he had really put out a very good performance in the 22 games in there for you for the club of Arsenal. And Martin Zubimendi is really one of the best CDMs in the Premier League, and he has gone ahead to bag his 50th goal, of the season in there. In the Premier League, I think this is the 4th one, if at all I'm not mistaken, 4th or 5th. So, in the Premier League, Martin Zubimendi, I know he scored a brace. Was it against Leeds also? Then he has gone ahead to score today. Those are 3 goals in the Premier League for the player known as Martin Zubimendi. That is what it means to have a quality player in there. He's a CDM, but he spares some time to come and really score you goals. So, 4 goal involvements in the Premier League, 23 games played, 3 goals, 1 assist. That is Martin Zubimendi for you, coming in through as that lad. So, his self-confidence has really gotten back, and I know this is what you will need as an Arsenal team to see to it that you really get your hands onto that trophy by the time the season comes to an end. Then, in the 38th minute, Arsenal went ahead to get a corner, and they went ahead to curl it at the near post, and obviously Carl Darlow and his defender went ahead to obviously have a poor communication. The goalkeeper couldn't obviously hold that ball very well, and it ended up into their own net. An own goal, Noni Madueke again, in a space of 11 minutes, he gave Arsenal happiness in there for you. Now, for Martin Zubimendi, for Noni Madueke, it is really good for him. Why? When Arsenal players arrived and the lineup was really named, Noni Madueke was not part of the starting 11. That is it. You get? And Saka got off because he really went ahead to get an injury when he was really warming up. Noni Madueke came on. Madueke came on and he delivered. He put out 2 goals into that particular encounter. And I tell you what, he really looked good. He really looked brave. And each and every time Arsenal is playing with Noni Madueke, the deliveries from that right side are really a lot. They are really a lot. Even many were like, Saka is good at really dropping in those set pieces. Have you seen what this guy is going to hate to do today? You know, all his set pieces were very teasing. You know, they had some good direction, some good power, and they're really very pinpointing into the 6 box area of the opponent. You remember the other one that he brought in through towards the back post, and Gyokeres went ahead to head it across the mouth of the goal, and no Arsenal player could meet it to obviously make it count. So, the lad, I repeat it, the lad is doing good and is really out of this world, I tell you. He is really doing wonders, and I really love what I'm seeing from Noni Madueke. And with time, you'll obviously understand that this guy, if he gets in more minutes, he can be more influential to that Arsenal side than he has always gone ahead to be, because of the limited game time that he's really getting. Now, we went to the halftime when Arsenal is having 2-0. Remember, it's said that it's the best and worst result, because if you come in through and you don't really add one more, obviously pressure increases if at all the team pulls one back. Now, back into the second half, I tell you, those first 23 minutes of the second half were really threatening for the side of Arsenal, because Leeds was like, let's just get one back and see how things will obviously turn out. But Arsenal defended very well, and the manager went ahead to make some substitutions. Martin Odegaard on for Kai Havertz. I'm going to be discussing Kai Havertz in there. Then he brought on Martinelli for Noni Madueke. You get? So, after doing that substitutions, those two substitutions went ahead to connect to deliver the third goal. And Odegaard went ahead to obviously release Martinelli. When he released Martinelli went ahead to obviously run towards the byline, chopped out to his left foot, and went ahead to lay in a very beautiful cross. And Victor Gyokeres went ahead to obviously do the needful and went ahead to put that ball in the back of the net. And that was the 69th minute. And I think that was the last nail in the coffin for me, because I thought Leeds could not obviously get back, because they had gone ahead to obviously put out a very huge show in the second half. And they are like, we want to get something. And indeed, they are knocking on the door. But that Arsenal defense was really very watertight. Then the manager went ahead to take off Victor Gyokeres and brought on Gabriel Jesus. Hincapié out. Then Ricardo Carafiori came on. Then Eze came on for Leandro Trossard. Now, Martin Odegaard in the second half looks like in those minutes was on the field of play. He owned the game, and he was sending a message to his manager that I'm the number 10 of Arsenal in there for you. However much you've gone ahead to try out Kai Havertz today, I've got involved in 2 goals, and he has gotten involved in none, and neither was he able to release Victor Gyokeres in there. As I told you that, Odegaard and Jesus know themselves well, and their movements are really well calculated, and they read each other like a book. So, what went ahead to happen in that particular game of football was, Odegaard is played into by Ricardo Carafiori, and Odegaard releases Jesus. But the footwork of Gabriel Jesus in that 18 box area to produce that goal was really world class. I tell you, I enjoyed it, and I was like, a lot is really happening at the club of Arsenal in there for you. These number 9s that Arsenal really has, I tell you, you cannot obviously stop them from really doing what exactly they want to do, if at all they want to harm you and really beat you bad. So the club of Arsenal came up and obviously made it 4-0 in there. And it was Jesus on target, scoring his second goal of the Premier League season, as Victor Gyokeres went ahead to score his 6th in the Premier League. So I like that competition for me, because if Gyokeres starts and scores, Jesus comes off the bench and really scores. That is really what makes a team really win the league. I've seen very many people say Arsenal doesn't have a player who is going to score 20 goals, so it's very hard for them. It's very hard for a team like them to win a trophy. I tell you, when you look at the stats of the Premier League, Arsenal, that doesn't have a striker who has gone ahead to score 20 goals plus, is just one goal behind a team known as Man City that has a Haaland who has gone ahead to score 20 goals. But the even distribution of goals for the club of Arsenal really speaks volumes, because for today, Zubimendi on target, Victor Gyokeres on target, and Jesus on target. 3 different players on target on different occasions. In the midweek, it was Kai Havertz, Victor Gyokeres, and Martinelli. So that is how a title-winning team is built. That is it. That is how a title-winning team is built. I would rather have my goals evenly distributed than really having one goal poacher, because we all understand that that goal poacher at a certain point X will go on a bad run, and when he goes on the bad run, that will go ahead and obviously affect the team. So I think this is playing the advantage of Arsenal. You get, they are doing good. And for Martin Odegaard, he has gone ahead to get in another assist today as an Arsenal player. And that was really good for him as a player and as a creator, because that's what makes you very, very deadly. And he goes to 4 assists this season. So that shows you that he will get into double figures. I told you, and we wait to see what the season is going to be like at the end. Many goals coming through at the end of the season. Sorry, in the second half of the season, and you've gone ahead to see to it that goals are coming in through. And for Kai Havertz, and for Martinelli, he has gotten in his first assist of the season, and he has 1 goal in the Premier League in there. But the Champions League, he has 6 and 1 assist. That is Gabriel Martinelli for you. But today has gone ahead to see Arsenal obviously get another start in there for you, as Arsenal have now scored 4+ goals in 5 Premier League away games against Leeds, the joint most one side has done so against another in the competition, along with Chelsea at Spurs and Man United at Bolton. Fantastic. So this run is really very important. Now, let me talk about Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard. Arteta did what he had to do. Why? You can't come out and really bench a player who was involved in 3 goals. A player who has been pushing to return to the first team. And that was Kai Havertz for you. So he put out a very big fight as a player, and I really loved that fight. But today, I think the difference was in the opponent that they were playing. The club of Arsenal was playing against a team called Kairat in the midweek. And we know what Kairat is. It's really a weak side. You cannot compare it to Leeds. You get? So I think that the difference, what caused the difference today was in the opponent. The opponent was the difference. And the opponent also did the needful and really made it hard, because every Premier League opponent is really hard to face off. And it's very hard to obviously come up and really look like you can really out-edge him throughout the game. So, Kai Havertz came on, but I think he will obviously improve, because I believe he's a number 10 and he's really a better number 10 than a number 9 in there. But Martin Odegaard is the master, is the best number 10 that Arsenal really do have. And he has shown you that 2 goals out of his orchestration. So, I think the message has been delivered well to the manager, Mikel Arteta. But 2 injuries. Bukayo Saka, there is Mikel Merino, and I don't know whether even Noni Madueke was injured. I cannot tell, but all I can say is that he was really taken off, and maybe the manager was like, you played a lot of minutes in the midweek. You've played like an hour mark in this one. Please rest. We have a game in the midweek against Chelsea. That will mean a lot to us. So you have to come up and obviously be fit for that game in the midweek, because I cannot really bring out Bukayo Saka to do that game, because he has really felt something. Now, it shows you that when you really have players, like 2 players competing for every position, it puts you in that position that you feel like you've not missed the other. No one is obviously going to say that we miss Saka. Sorry, no one is going to say that Arsenal miss Saka. I'm really saying it like as if I'm supporting a club known as Arsenal, yet I don't support it. So, those players have gone ahead to do Arsenal proud, and they've gone ahead to collect 3 points in there for you. So, we head to the stats of the game, and 3 shots by the club of Leeds. Arsenal had 13. 1 shot on target for Leeds, and Arsenal had 7 on target. 51% ball possession by Leeds. Arsenal had 49% ball possession. 390 passes completed by Leeds, and Arsenal completed 396. 80% passing accuracy by Leeds. Arsenal had 86% passing accuracy. 10 fouls by Leeds and 8 fouls by Arsenal. Then 1 yellow card to the side of Leeds and 1 yellow card to the side of Arsenal. No red card was issued to either Arsenal or Leeds. 0 offsides to Leeds and 1 offside to Arsenal. 4 corners to the side of Leeds and 12 corners to the side of Arsenal, of which 2 of those resulted into the 2 goals that Arsenal went ahead to score. A clean sheet has been kept by David Raya, and I think that is now the 11th clean sheet for David Raya this particular season, and he really looked good, and I think the communication in the central defense was really looking good and better for that side. We go to the table. How is it looking like? Arsenal have gone ahead to win their 16th game of the season, and they have 5 draws and 3 losses, and they've played 24 games. They've scored 46 goals, and now they're having a goal difference of 29 after conceding 17 with 53 points. Man City, 23 games. They are playing tomorrow, and they're having 46 points. Arsenal's going to have to stretch back their lead to 7 points in there for you, and they are really up and running in this particular league of the Premier League. The same applies to Aston Villa, that is playing against a team known as Brentford tomorrow. City is playing against Tottenham Hotspur, and I've just gone ahead to obviously upload that video in there for you, so you can as well check it. United is playing Fulham tomorrow. I think Liverpool is playing tonight. Chelsea is also playing today. So a lot of games are still coming your way, and we're obviously going to be following up onto those particular games, and we'll come and we'll let you know what has gone ahead to happen or prevail in those particular games altogether. But that takes you to what it means for the club of Arsenal. As I told you, Arsenal is really lucky. When you look at them, when you look at their fixtures, when you look at their fixtures after losing to Man United, you know, their biggest competitor, that is Man City, is playing 2 away games. They are playing away at Liverpool and away at Spurs. Games that are obviously going to be hard for the side of Manchester. Games that are going to be hard for the side of Manchester City. And for Arsenal, they are really cruising all the way to the top, and they are 7 points clear. We don't know how far they will obviously keep this, but I really understand that they are really doing the needful. In the midweek, Arsenal returns to action, playing in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup against a team known as Chelsea. That is on Tuesday, and they are going to be playing at Emirates. Remember, in that particular tournament, Arsenal went away at Chelsea and beat Chelsea by 3 goals to 2, and they only need a draw to go through to the next round. Sunderland is paying a visit to Arsenal. That is next Saturday. That is it. Then Arsenal will play away at Brentford. Then, after playing those 2 games, they'll obviously have to play away at Tottenham Hotspur. Then they'll host Chelsea. So, Arsenal needs to win these next 2 games, Sunderland and Brentford, such that they stretch the lead once again. For City, I know they will drop points in the game of Spurs or the game of Liverpool. That is it. So, thank you guys for watching through. Rokani David is my name. That has been the match reaction for this particular encounter of Arsenal 4, Leeds 0, Jesus and Gyokeres on target. Zubimendi Martin going ahead to really redeem or deliver himself from the howlers he made in the game of Arsenal versus Man United that costed Arsenal this time round. So, your reactions to this are welcome in the comment section below. I'll be coming back with the player ratings and so much more onto this beautiful channel. Liverpool is playing Newcastle later today, 23 hours. Then, Chelsea is in action and West Ham is leading Chelsea by 1-0. Brighton has drawn with Everton 1-1. Bournemouth has beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-0. So, those are the games, and that's what I had obviously come in for here. And bye-bye for now, but it's not yet good night because more stories and information are really dropping onto this channel. Deadline day, transfer, if any big story drops in, I'll come at your service and really drop it in. I'm out. Bye-bye. But continue to subscribe because we want to hit 29,000 subscribers.